It's capable of carrying tactical nuclear weapons. Starmer announced the news to NATO allies in The Hague today, saying this is in an effort to strengthen the bloc's nuclear capability. According to reports, the program will support 20,000 jobs and more than 100 companies across the UK supply chain. The decision means that Britain's Air Force will have a nuclear role for the first time since the end of the Cold War. A fine Thursday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Johannesburg drops to overnight lows of 4 degrees, peaking at 20. Pretoria 7 and 21. And for Vereniging 3 and 18 degrees. Doluthando Ngeno, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
When we say 947 is everywhere.
All day, every day.
We mean it. Because when you're not locked into 947 on your radio, you're hitting primemediaplus.com, the home of 947 online, where you'll find everything in one place. Want to win big?
Yes, please.
Discover what's hot and happening in and around your city. Catch the latest podcasts doing the most, or get your fill of all the trendiest trends to dance to, listen to, or dress to. Everyone, everywhere can get everything they love and more.
Love the app.
It's sleek, fresh, and fast every single time.
Let's go.
Every minute of the day, 24/7.
Love it.
Download the app today or hit primemediaplus.com, the home of 947 online.
#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored,
High dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
and most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Hi, Rob. Well, I just want to start by saying that MSW, it's the show that it thinks it is. I mean, we're having champions back to back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kaizer Chiefs.
Not only nice for us, it's just really nice for South Africans.
So exciting to be having Themba Bavuma today. And I would just like to say to him, congratulations, to him for winning the Protea WTC as a captain.
When was the last time you cried?
When was the last time I cried? I shed a tear when we qualified for the final. That was Pakistan Supersport Park. When we played here, when we won the final, there were no tears. I don't know why.
I'm getting worried though. We need to, you go to a pharmacy, you see these fake tears that I'm like, this man needs it. You're stronger than most, Themba. You are. I don't know, the man van Staal.
Ubuye naye lemisiphakwa la ungene ngaba kubona mengayo stupid bazinga abantu bethu madoda ngawe ngoba kaloku before uba ile captain yelizwe usuka kwezo zandla zelo langa camako dangi
Themba bavuma nokade ngenalo ithemba ngicela uvumile manje ukubona ukuthi you were the right man for the job, you were the right captain to take us and lead us there. The man from Ilanga, it took us amalanga for that one special day to become a day that we'll never forget. Your name will forever be etched in our history.
50 for Bavuma. This is the way that they have to bat. You've got to keep their foot down. When you're chasing 340 odd, you've got to keep your foot down.
Rob, don't forget to play this one. His name is Themba. He comes from Langa. He came to score, came to score, came to score, score. His name is Themba. He comes from Langa. And he plays for Proteas.
Ladies and gentlemen, his name is...
He came to score, came to score, came to score. His name is Themba. He comes from Langa. He came to score.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
All right, just judging from the WhatsApp reaction that's come through on the voice notes, on Twitter, on X, on social media, all over the place, I think Osi sets it apart and says, I'd like to ask him why they're always signing free agents. Is the club bankrupt or what? Even the transfer window, we haven't paid for any signing yet, no transfer fees, nothing. All I'm saying is that whichever direction it takes, it's an open-ended conversation. He's here, he's live in studio tonight. His name is Bobby Motaung, and we are looking forward to that journey. Also a massive night for Mamelodi Sundowns. I'll tell you all about it. A coach in the Premiership has already been axed. Is that the right way of saying it? I think so. Cape Town City, ladies and gentlemen, have been relegated. Marawa Sports Worldwide, probably brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go! The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
All right, so as I've mentioned, a big night indeed for Mamelodi Sundowns. Their coach Miguel Cardoso has identified the Fluminense's John Arias as a major threat ahead of tonight's must-win FIFA Club World Cup clash. Now, the Colombian playmaker has been in red-hot form, and Cardoso says that containing Arias will be key to Sundowns' chances. Cardoso is also urging his side to stay compact and avoid letting the game drift into Fluminense's comfort zone.
It's clear the impact of John Arias on the offensive output of the team. We need to deal with him, of course. But it's not only him, it's the relation between him, the fullback, the midfielders. That right side has more output rather than the left, despite the left is high qualified also. John is a high-level player that can decide games. But you know something I always tell today when we enter the stadium, I look around, and I've been in almost all stadiums throughout the world. When I look around and I say, if the guys cannot play here, where they want to play? It's ultimately where you want to play, at the streets. That's where you come from. Here is where you want to be. So we have to play against the best. Then if we succeed, if we can win duels, and to stop John Arias, you have to win duels, but you have to close his spaces as a team also, not only allow him to play 1-against-1, because 1-against-1 he's very strong. So we have to double ourselves. We have to make him play in short spaces. But we have to make the same work on the left when the ball will change. Fluminense tries to take the ball to one side and then change quick on the other side to try to promote him in space 1-against-1 or 1-against-2 or 2-against-2 situations, but with bigger spaces. So that's what we need to do, cover one side, try to not allow the ball to rotate on the other or delay it as much as possible. And then also quickly reposition ourselves on the opposite side. I just hope, Matt, that my players are tested and that in the end I can say, okay, we have level in our defenders because they could cope with him.
All right, so let's give you the final bit of the breaking news. As I mentioned up front, top flight football is going to be returning now to the Northwest. Orbit College have clinched the Betway Premiership promotion. There was a dramatic 1-0 victory over Cape Town City at the Olympia Stadium this afternoon. So what does this mean? I mean, the win means, and it not only just seals their historic rise, but also sends Cape Town City down, marking that seismic shift in the provincial football landscape. If I look at it and I say, but Orbit are the second non-top flight side in the last 7 seasons to win promotion via the playoff system. Cape Town City are the second top flight side to also be relegated via the playoff in the last 7 seasons. So history being made on multiple fronts, but also another breaking story that we are picking up coming through from eThekwini down in Durban and KZN. It looks like it is the end of the road for the Durban City FC head coach Simo Dladla. The club as well as Dladla have officially parted ways after protracted negotiations. Remember, he joined as an assistant at the start of the 2023-24 season when the team still operated under Maritzburg United. So this campaign marked their first in the Motsepe Foundation Championship following the relegation via the PSL playoff, with Cape Town Spurs gaining top flight promotion. That was back then. So, sure, lots to cover. But yeah, I can imagine the feeling down in Cape Town. One of the most successful outfits to have come through, one of the most sponsored outfits to come through in the league, one of the most dynamic leaders and chairman of the club, John Committis, and Cape Town City relegated today. That's the reality. But our reality right now is let's not waste any time, because live on the YouTube channel, I see you. You and your thousands already. Let's log on. Let's post the comments. Let's post the questions. I think for me, it's the first time that we have an open one-on-one conversation with the Bobby Motaung Foundation chairman, Mr. Bobby Motaung. In a second, he steps in.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Oh, that's a crack out of the middle. What a fine stroke that is.
Ladies and gentlemen, his name is... Ever wanted to give up?
Yeah, those thoughts come. I think you're only human. It's been a tough journey in a lot of ways. Having the leadership that the system didn't really prepare you for it, and I don't think the system was prepared for something like that. And I think also being the first in many ways, people need to get used to that idea. But it's been tough. But that's what builds your character, right? I think if you are pushing and trying to achieve anything crazy, you can't run away from the struggle. It's a part and parcel. Well, it's been a part and parcel of my journey thus far.
I just can't give up now.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW. Wednesday nights, soccer nights, your nights.
As I said, on a dramatic day, on a Wednesday, on Soccer Nights, on the 25th of June 2025, on the night where it has been confirmed that Cape Town City have been relegated, on a day where Simo Dladla has also been confirmed to have parted ways with Durban City. So it looks like anything that is city-related has, a negative connotation today. Well, he's a city boy. I'm not sure if there's any negative connotation attached to him, but... that is why, under the bright lights and echoing legacy of South African football, we celebrate a titan of the game, a man whose fingerprints, I can dare say, are imprinted on every blade of glory at Naturina. Whose vision has sculptured dynasties, inspired generations, and also built bridges far beyond the touchline. He's not just a football strategist. When you talk about a dreamer, you talk about a leader, and above all, a servant of the people. From championship boardrooms to grassroots communities. His commitment to transformation through sport has been documented and is unwavering. But tonight, we're going to witness a little bit of a different chapter here. As the chairman of the Bobby Motaung Foundation, you might be trading tactics for tee-offs, I don't know. You might be driving change where it matters most with a special charity golf day on the horizon. He's kind of raising hope and building futures. What is he planning? What's the next step? Let's welcome Mr. Bobby Motaung into studio. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Rob. First time in your studio. Beautiful reception. Beautiful studio. I don't do live studios. You know me.
It's the first time we do this.
Of course. And God bless you on your journey of the vision that we've had when you started the show. And firstly, I want to send my condolences to the MCB family. I think an icon like you, a researcher, a legend in the media space has left us. So, but with you, the future is bright. I can see this is beautiful. I must say, it's just relaxing. It's beautiful.
You're chilled.
I'm chilled.
Yeah, it's you've been part of a Glamour Boys. Does this signify, do you feel at home when you see this? Does this signify success for Bobby Motaung? Because as a young kid growing up and knowing what is surrounding you, what were Bobby's dreams?
Firstly, before I dreamt, when I was born, I was given a name or names. Yeah. And little did I know that I'd be where I am at 55 years later. Beauty, love, laughter, happiness, celebrating life. As you know that Kaizer Chiefs is a love and peace brand. As you know that we are dealing with communities, people's social ills, people's happiness and joy, to give hope and to give light to that. Fortunately, when I was born, or my destiny when I was born in a football family, both from my mother's side and my father's side, where we had a team called Midlands Young Zebras in Midlands, where I was born. And we had Kaizer Chiefs at the same time, because I was born the same year with Kaizer Chiefs, and my name was Bobby.
Yeah.
And guess what? My father, when he was playing in America, his neighbor in the house was Bobby Charlton. And when I was given names, I was given 3 names. Bobby, which came from my father. He named me Bobby, the chairman. Then my mother's side had to give a name. My mother's uncle said, that one is Nehemiah Musiani. Those are the 3 names I was given. So those names are deep. Bobby is it's a unique name. Big name in soccer.
Yeah.
Big name in sports. Iconic. Nehemiah, it's a spiritual name. It's in the Bible. It had its own responsibilities and iconic life to live when you live that life. So it's been a unique journey. Rob.
But do you think you've lived to such an extent that those 3 names carry the ambitions that your parents had hoped you would achieve? Both from, when you talk about a Bobby Charlton, we all know who and what he was about, but also from a growth perspective, because what we know and maybe what people expect, and that is why I need to explain that we're going to unravel, we will engage, and we will get to the part wherever of those questions that people, because they always bombard you about the signings, the this, the not signing. So we've never had to go through layer by layer, especially you as a human being, and where your journey is now going, if it is going, and where your headspace is at, where the foundation is taking us, where the club is, etc. So I want to know that, do you believe, though, that those 3 layers you've spoken about, have you lived to fulfill what you think your parents wanted from them?
Personally, Rob, coming to soccer, let's start with the football aspect first. I've lived in a unique way because I played soccer, I played tennis, I played karate when I was young. Remember in the township where we grew up in Midlands, all the top stars most of the top stars come from there. Dube, Dr. Kumalo, they come from there, but boxing was the top boxers there. Karate, I never played boxing because I wanted to preserve my face. But in the gym, we were forced to gym.
What, did you think you were a pretty boy?
Well, I was pretty since I was young. I was handsome. I'm still handsome. I was pretty when I was young, but now I'm a yellow bone. I'm fried, no scars, no. So it was more of the passion. And I did karate for protection. As you grow in the townships, you had to be fit and play a sport. Soccer was the main thing because I grew up in a soccer family. Even in the town, we used to play one ball. Going to school, carrying a soccer ball, The only thing I didn't do in soccer was to pursue the career of playing. But I played till the reserve team with Dr. Kumalo and them. I actually went into administration than playing because there was a lot of pressures, but the passion was there.
But was there an expectation, though?
Of course, with a name like Bobby, you expected to, and Kaizer Motaung's son, you expect to be a star. I was an average player, not a star. But I had eye for talent and I had eye for the game. And I was in charge of, I grew up in an environment where we had a team in Bapong in Brits. We had a team in Midlands where I was born, my grandfather's team. Zebras in Bapong, we had a team called Green Bells, where I actually made sure that Dr. Kumalo signs for Chiefs then when I recruited. I had an injury which I did an op on top of my leg, but I didn't want an operation at the time. But I was more focused on that main part of things because I grew up in a business environment at home. So in terms of playing, like I was saying, I didn't pursue it as a career. But in terms of being involved in football and soccer, it was a passion. It's been a lifetime, job for me and lifetime dream. That's where it is. But spiritually, spiritually.
I was going to say, just quickly, pursuing it because you're not pursuing it, at times it's not about a choice. It's about also God's gift to you? Whether, does Bobby Motaung have it within him to become the superstar? Does he have the discipline to put in the hard work and the training and all of those things? So at times, it's not even up to you.
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm saying the passion was different in terms of being a player or being an administrator, being part of the game, being part of the journey of... The spiritual journey started there of soccer when I was young. And fortunately, I had this spiritual name, which I was given. And that name is heavy. Is to serve and is to be not a healer, but to have spirit and soul.
Do you believe you've served well? Just give me a yes or no.
So far, I'm happy.
You're not answering my question.
I've done well. I've done very well.
Do you believe you've served well?
I've served well.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
It all starts with FNB Private. Diversify your portfolio to grow your wealth. Gain global exposure through shares or unit trusts on the FNB app. Tap into international investments and tax-efficient offshore trusts to build your legacy. Unlock invaluable with FNB Private. Help changes everything. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSB and credit provider. FNB International Trustees, FNB IT registration number 3080. Licensed by the Guernsey Financial Services Commission to conduct fiduciary business. T's and C's apply.
Share your data and stay connected with an MTN mobile internet plan. For just $199 per month, you'll get 50 gigs of anytime data that can be shared with up to 5 MTN numbers. Whether it's family, friends, or your other devices, everyone stays online. Plus, add a 4G pocket router for just 10 Rand extra per month and connect up to 10 devices. So visit an MTN store or mtn.co.za now. T's and C's apply. Today, we make moves. MTN.
Better starts with hot water this winter and even hotter savings. Get the Ariston 150-litre geyser for just $4,499. Plus, purchase any Ariston product and stand a chance to win your share of 120,000 in building materials vouchers. See in store for details. Better get to Build It today. Promo ends 5 July. Only at Build It.
The briefcases, the offers, the suspense. Don't miss a single moment on Deal or No Deal. Weeknights at 6:30 only on SABC2. It's real people, real money. One bold move could change everything. Fortune favors the bold. Will you deal? Brought to you by Lotto Star.
Lotto Star is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18s. National Responsible Gambling Program. 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
This is the Oppo Reno 13. Built to impress. With powerful AI portrait retouching, ultra clear night mode, 15 megapixel main camera, a crystal clear 6.67-inch AMOLED display, and so much more. It's slim, it's smart, and it's tough with IP69 water and dust resistance. Now from just $7.99 a month on a 36-month prime package at MTN. Oppo Reno 13. Smarter, sharper, bolder. Only at participating MTN stores. T's and C's apply.
They say 2's a couple, 3's a crowd, but 4 is a party. Grab your crew and head to Panarotis for the classic Monsterito Quattro Pizza. Just $199.90. That's nearly half a meter of pizza. With your option of 4 different flavors, there's something for everyone. Whether you're into spicy, cheesy, meaty, or veggie goodness, visit Panarotis and enjoy every bite. Panarotis, big on family, big on pizza.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Yeah, that's a good shot from Temba.
Temba bavuma nokade ngenalo ithemba ngicela uvumile manje ukubona ukuthi you were the right man for the job.
I'll tell you about the power of sports, Temba, is that earlier in the year, I got a voice note from somebody who's in KZN, and he says, the day that you host Temba Bavuma on your show, he says, ngezulu usibize sizomgidela ingoma kaShemen. And I hope that one day they get to perform this live for you. Your reaction?
I think I guess my presence in the cricketing space, it spans beyond just being a cricketer. We're inspiring people to go for their dreams.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW. Wednesday nights, soccer nights, your nights.
All right, recognizing everybody that's joining us wherever you are around the country, the continent, or the world. You're watching on the YouTube channel. We see you. We see the questions, the comments. As we lay the foundation here for the very first time in a one-on-one conversation with Bobby Motaung. He is the chairman of the Bobby Motaung Foundation. I will talk about that and what is to happen in future. Where is his mind space right now? I mean, is there retirement? Does the word retirement come in when you're in the space that you're in, representing a brand like Kaizer Chiefs?
Robert, it's a lifetime commitment. You get involved. Like I said to you, when I was born, I was involved in sports, in communities, coming from a background of a family that serves. We are born in a family that is to serve. And we are not taught that we are some people, you know. We were taught to serve and to love and to give hope. It's a tough one. It's a heavy job. Like I gave you my names, even the spiritual names. You have to love yourself. You have to love the brand. When I was growing up, I asked the chairman once, when I was realizing the challenges that we faced with and how he was dealing with the challenges then. Young as I was, coming from school, I used to go and work at the gates. I used to work. I'm a worker. Weekends I used to work in shops. We used to have shops, businesses at home. Young, I'm talking 7, 10 years, 11 years old. But I used to work at the gates. And I used to see Orlando Stadium. You know Orlando? At the time, when I was coming from school, my dad used to take us every time to games. I used to go with him. The pressure that he had. But what was, for me, challenging was, how did he get it right to a brand like Chiefs to be touching people in Lesotho, Swaziland, Zimbabwe, and all this? In those years, there was no TV. There was no television. There was only radio. Even if you get a newspaper, those during the apartheid times also, you'd get it. But this brand, this love for Kaizer Chiefs, this love for Kaizer Motaung, growing up from a spiritual point of view, I then realized that there's something bigger than him. And there's something that he also acknowledges with his humility and everything, that he's a servant of God. He gives hope. He's very humble. He's got some humor that, as a youngster, sometimes we get excited. We think it's about us. So I discovered that, you know what, Rob? Thinking retirement, thinking anything. It's the day when I rest, when when God decides to take me. The journey is more about the spirit. What you touch, how people love you. It's a connection. It's not your expectation. It's a connection. But it comes from your heart. It comes from you. This journey we're traveling, and we've been traveling. It's a very deep journey, which is amazing, which is very... So to say to retire, to think of living it, it's a pipe dream.
Yeah.
For me, it's more a wisdom to serve and to give hope and love. And that's why the slogan of Chiefs is love and peace. And I think that slogan came deep because there's so much love.
When you have to live in the world, and we're going to come to all the calls, guys, so nobody's going to be ignored today. When you look at some of the criticism that automatically a Motaung family would attract, and you in particular, because you're here to speak for yourself, is when you get labeled as falling under the guise of your dad, his success, the club's success. Oh, Bobby, that one is too arrogant. He won't listen. He's too full of himself. He doesn't want to grow the club further than what he found it as. So when you have to deal with all of those bullets that are coming your way, how do they land? How do you react?
Naturally, as a human being, remember in the past also as a young administrator, I would react emotionally. But realistically speaking, the organization is so big. Even the chairman himself has never run this alone. There was consultations in every decision. It's not a Bobby journey. It's not a Bobby decision. Signing of players, the results at some point. I mean, I'm not a goalkeeper, I'm not a striker, I'm not. There's coaches, there's everybody when it comes to me. But as a leader, you take responsibility of the outcries and infiltrate it to the organization. And when you present the requirements or your responsibilities, it comes from the heart. You can't talk societal issues when you're not within society. So you must leave the job, you must leave the brand, you must live within the community and understand their pain. That's why I say we serve, we give hope, and God has put us there for a reason. That's why the chairman himself, not that he was never insulted, not that he's also under pressure, but the humility of him finding it to this level and achieving to this level, the journey learned there and the lessons learned there is about understanding your path and your responsibility. When the team wins, it's not about me. When we lose, it's about Bobby. There was one old lady, a granny. A granny once was sewing. Every time there's a game, the guys would buy beers and everything, and she would listen, not even watch the game. And each time Chiefs loses, Bobby, man, Bobby, asidlisa. So ugogo yabuza ukuthi, but tell me, lo Bobby lo abangamkhiphi lo ngoba uyandlisa lo. And somebody answered, he said, Goga akadlali uBobby lo. uBobby akadlali. Masiwinile abakhali ngoBobby ba. And this is an old lady who has thungela nje lapha ohleli. So what I'm saying is, but I would understand that what people the outcry is about and what we serve. We give hope, Robs. We give. Now it's even worse. There's betting, there's all these things. So you need to find your space as a leader, as Bobby, to say, what is around you? Is the team around you assisting you to present, to give the results, whether it's a coach, whether it's the players, whether it's technical staff? If they're not the right people, the board that is there must listen. We present, we serve. It's not a Bobby Janie where Bobby wakes up one day and says, I'm buying Robert Marawa, I'm buying Besuma. No. It's a collective. But as a leader, as a face, as a collective, then you take responsibility, accountability. But you pray for that and you serve. When there's success, you don't take the glory. Your glory is to see those people happy and achieving what they wanted. So that's the job that you sign up for. When you get in there, you know that this is my path, this is my spiritual journey. I love seeing kids, my family, my everybody achieving and succeeding because it's part of the life. If you don't have that within yourself, Robert, you would find people criticizing, you would find the outcry. You must understand, but be with the people to understand them. Go to the township.
Yeah.
See how people don't have money every day, they strike during the week, everything. But when it comes to the game, they spend their last cent to go to the stadium and spend money transporting, going anywhere.
But that becomes then your bigger responsibility to say you can't be disappointing that one club that brings people the hope.
You can't.
The one club that has delivered trophies more than most in South Africa or even on the continent to a certain extent. But was there a point where as a family you were like, guys, listen, let's gather together. Something is not quite making sense. The boat is shaking, results oncoming, trophies oncoming, supporters are losing hope, stadiums are not filling up. Was there a stage, and guide us in terms of if there was, at what stage was that, and what are the decisions that were taken?
Rob, with my history and experience, we had generations and generations. I've been part of lots of generations, from the Ace and Solengwe times. I mean, if you remember, may soul rest in peace, even Malomo, there was a breakaway also, where they started their own Ace mates, and they came back, but it's been generations. I've been part of that journey. It's a question of this conversation. Before, the family is so huge. I've got uncles who've been with the club, in supporters clubs everywhere. This club in Pefeni, we've got Banks Todis, all those legends and everybody. They've been part of the process where we have those conversations. It's not just the family at home. Those conversations happen with legends. They happen at forums where we sit and look at the challenges. There are branches, supporters branches we sit with and discuss where the problem is. It's not just about the family. It's a bigger picture. The chairman has structured this thing, the Kaizer Chiefs. Somebody called it this thing. One of our supporters in P. This thing, this brand, this journey was ordained before us. And the path that we're traveling, the chairman that we have is the most humble man in terms of empowering, giving people contributions and listening and taking responsibility to another level. So it's a collective. Family is there now. Even then, family was still involved. Remember my Kaizer Chiefs, ugogo bekabaphekela ephefeni. Bekudliwa amagogo wakhe ziwashini amajezi yayenza yonke into. So family has always been involved of caring about the brand, caring about the challenges. It's our job. Even today, we're dealing with challenges every day as a family to say, where do we go? What do we aspire? What do we sit and we talk? It's a united front. It's not a Bobby thing. It's not a Bobby thing. It's not a one-man thing. The chairman has empowered us to do that.
Yeah.
And one thing that old man has, that Dr. Motaung has, is to give people space and room to grow. And it's not family. It's a bigger family. This thing is big. It's huge.
So when people worry about life and its inevitabilities, the people worry about the center and the core, which is the head and the chair. To say, if like you and I, very fallible, we are no longer there, is the club in danger then of everything else except for success?
Look, Rob, like I said to you, this journey has got a plan, it's not a one-man show. It's not a family like in a house. When we say Kaizer Chiefs family, we talk about structures. There's boards, there's committees, there's excos. It's not when we wake up, I decide, or we drink coffee with Kaizer Jr. and it's over. We make a decision. No, it's a collective. There's a lot of consultation that happens. There's a structure, which tomorrow, if anything happens to me, if anything happens to anybody in the team, there is successors. There is a plan in terms of, because the structure is so open that we've got forums, we share, it's huge. We might be the face, I might be the face, then people say, but remember, to sign a player or to buy a player, it's a consultative situation. It's not Bobby just waking up and saying, no, I'm buying this one. There's coaches, now even the game is even worse, it's changed. Tinker staff is how many people? I've got 20 people. Before it was maybe a few.
Yeah.
Now a coach comes with 6 coaches. Another one comes with and sports science. And things, it has grown. Communication is different even now. Where we sit, there's committees of football and communication. There's social media, there's all these things. So there is a plan in terms of continuity. It's not a one-man show, but we still have the wisdom of the old leadership, the experienced leadership to guide the new leadership coming in.
Let me go to Sia and Rebecca because I want to pop in a couple of questions. Thanks for holding on. Sia, good evening.
Good evening, Marawa, and good evening to Upobi Stick. Marawa, I have few questions for Upobi as a football manager at Kaizer Chiefs. One, why did the management decide to keep Unapi and his team after it was reported that they were going to let him go, whether he wins the Nedbank Cup or not, especially with him having the worst league record in Kaizer Chiefs history? Secondly, some Kaizer Chiefs supporters believed in the Yoba, if Unapi angafumana a local assistant coach, maybe he would have done better last season and he would do better next season, because the what you call the local coach, would make him understand South African players and all that. Thirdly, why is the Kaizer Chiefs still holding on to players that are not adding value at Kaizer Chiefs? I'll make an example. Upotsane, out of 58 games, which is 2 seasons, he has played only 14 games, no assists, no goals. Umatro, out of 88 games, which is 3 seasons, he has played 29 games, 1 assist, no goals. Umasiali, 3 seasons, which is 88 games, only 24 goals. Ungobo, out of 3 seasons, which is 88 games as well, only 36 games, 1 goal, no assist. Uzitakwinika, last season, out of 28 games, he has played only 5 games. So why is the Kaizer Chiefs still keeping those players who are not adding value if, they are still ambitious to challenge Sundowns and win the league and do well in Africa? Lastly, on Upobi personally, why did he take a step back, at Kaizer Chiefs? Because he was the one who was always forward. Why did he take a step back? Is it because the team was not doing well? Is it because of what happened with Udax? Or is it because of, him, being out there with the law, and stuff like that. And go to Rob.
All right. Sia Nkubeka, thank you so much.
Can we, Rob, deal with this issue properly?
Mm-hmm.
We spoke earlier on about Tinker staff coming, myself coming with the coach and to explain issues of the team. And team issues. We are here for me, for explaining, just asking about my journey in the past and all that. I think the details of player movements and player whatever, those we'll deal with at the right time, at the right level. Like I said, we'll plead with our supporters to say announcements will be made for the future of the next season. Announcements and reasons will be given about player departures and everything.
How soon?
I think the coach just arrived today.
Yeah.
And we still are going to have our sessions. Like I say, there's too much consultative processes in the team. I don't wake up and come and say, hey, this is what. It's a process, and we're going to deal with the coach now. He's just arrived. There's a camp. They're leaving next week for a camp.
Yeah.
Those announcements will also be made officially by the club, where the team is going, what is happening, and the plan. And then we'll come back here before the league starts with the coach to outline, because those are questions that need to be asked, answered. And we're here, we read, we get them on social media, we get all the comments of people. We've got a team that's dealing with all the questions and everything, the requirements.
When we come back from the break, though, the one about stepping back, if that's one you want to handle,
I'll explain that.
Yeah, you'll explain why you have decided or not to step back. But I think visibly people would agree.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
We are woven into the same soil that shapes South Africa. Its dreams, its energy, its promise. These guide us. Together, we've built progress hand in hand, from the mines to bustling main streets, from one generation to the next. With communities, government, and partners, every initiative from healthcare to education, youth empowerment to entrepreneurship lights the way forward. Because we don't just mine minerals, we mine possibility and progress with purpose. Together, we're shaping what's next, mining potential, building beyond. Anglo-American.
Every great climb starts with a choice. Rise or remain where you are. This isn't just another game. It's your shot to conquer your limits. Climb the leaderboard and claim what's yours with Betway Climb and Conquer. 50 million rand in cash and prizes, leaderboard glory, and 8 cars from Polo R-Lines to High Aces up for grabs. Ready to rise? Enter now on betway.co.za. Climb and conquer with Betway. T's and C's apply. Betway South Africa is licensed and regulated by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. National Responsible Gambling Program 0800 006 008.
Why settle for average when you can upgrade awesome intelligence with the new Galaxy A26? Want to find a song? Simply hum or sing the melody and allow the AI circle to search to do the rest. Take your mobile photography to the next level with the AI triple camera, boasting a 50 megapixel autofocus to capture high quality moments. Plus, you get storage expandability of up to 2 terabytes. Galaxy A26. Awesome intelligence is here.
Our massive annual sale is finally here. Get to Dial-A-Bed today for up to 33% off a selection of our best brands, like the 40 Winks Extra Firm Active Zone Queen Set, reduced to only 11,999. Shop in-store or online right now. Plus, get fast delivery on our best sellers. Dial-A-Bed, sleep for life.
When it's time for a brake or clutch job, go with CBS, your trusted clutch and brake specialist. From quality parts to exceptional service, heavy or light duty vehicles. Elevate your braking and clutch performance. CBS, the clutch and brake specialist.
For those who inherited a clock and high blood pressure from their gran. For those who prefer high fives over kudos. For those who like their watch to only tell time, not tell them what to do. At Liberty, we get it. You're only human. You don't need to be perfect to get life cover. We say, humans welcome. Chat to one of our accredited financial advisors. Liberty, in it with you. All of you. Liberty Group Limited, a licensed life insurer and authorized FSP and part of the Standard Bank Group. T's and C's apply.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
That's a crack out of the middle. What a fine stroke that is.
Ladies and gentlemen, his name is... So, in the same way that I think today is a celebration of 1995, Francois Pinard, what happened at Ellis Park, lifting the Rugby World Cup. So you would be in the same light as what we always think back then when we think of A95, for example.
Being recognized more than just a black African batsman or cricketer, I think that's something for me that brings a lot of this relief to it, because I think that title, it comes with certain connotations, more negative than anything. It's an appreciation in itself. People of my kind, they didn't have the opportunities that I have, and they sacrificed and fought a lot for individuals like myself to have that.
#MSW. #MSW. Wednesday nights, soccer nights, your nights.
Good evening, Robs and Bob Stick there at the studio, Mirokot and Pretoria. Rob, I want to ask Bobby. Actually, I want to just tell him not to ask. I think the previous years Chiefs have been building. I think this coming season we mustn't be associated with building. I think now we need the result. They must go out and sign the players. There are players that are available and we are just they are just being poached by Pirates and other teams. Chiefs must sign good players and we win the league this season. Mirokota Dango.
Molweni studio. Mr. Motaung, siyacela singabalandeli. Cela police siyamcela okanye ukeletsa Magawula weSikhukhune United. Singayilibelanga ke i-left back position. Ubasadian samlindile. Asazi bakwenzeka ntoni ngaye. Please siyamcela okanye ke niske nigqibe ngale ndaba kaBhaliti sixole if animthengi uBasadian. Inkosi.
Good evening, Marawa and to Bobby Motaung. I'd like to know about player recruitment at Kaizer Chiefs. Does the coach have a say, or it's only the team who buy players for him? And for next season, we are expecting Kaizer Chiefs to be the better team. I know that the coach has been cooking, but come 2020, 25, 26, it must be at a sharp time. And good luck to Kaizer Chiefs on the continental space next season. Thank you, Marawa. This is True Love from Eskawini. Thank you.
Right, True Love from Eskawini. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you as well for all the questions. I'm going to check out what's happening on the YouTube channel in just a second. Bobby Motaung is my guest tonight. He is the Bobby Motaung Foundation chairman. And as I said, we're chatting all manner of things around him, the individual. But obviously you cannot leave Kaizer Chiefs out when his name is mentioned. And as Usia from Gqeberha was saying before the break, that there was a visible stepping back from Bobby Motaung. Was it intentional?
No, I think, Rob, the game has changed. The profile of work has changed. There's lots of dynamics happening now in the game. If you look at the technical stuff, it's huge. Scouting, it's huge. Social media, marketing, it's broad. The team has grown. Departmental faces have grown, have changed. And once you've been there with all this, even the chairman you can see, you empower, you allow modern technology, modern people to come in. I've got a sporting director now. There's a structure there. I can't talk, he can't, with him talking, and I can't have the coach talking and the assistant talking, and I'm part of the process, I'm part of the team. Decision making, I'm part of it. Whether we disagree or agree in processes or agree, but we are part of the process. I'm part of the organization. I'm part of whatever decision making that is there. I support Kaizer Junior very much. I support as a sporting director. I support marketing. I support social media teams. I support.
So in terms of structure, though, so you're saying he's the sporting director. So in terms of matters to do with sporting, which is the football.
Yeah,
he's
a hierarchy. It's normal.
Hierarchy.
That title is a high title. We go to Sundowns, you go to every team. If you talk, even if there's recruitment, everybody comes to that football department, which is part of me and him,
Yeah.
and the coaches and everybody. So we discuss. If a player has got to be recruited, brought in, we discuss. Obviously, there's more technology now. There's more researches that are done, and the team, they are young. I mean, it's a new generation. There's more technology involved. It's a collective, and like I say, it's not a one-man show. The only person that obviously everything has to go through at the end of the day is the chairman and the board. The board and the chairman.
So is that how you'd answer that question on the voice note, to say, how does recruitment at Kaizer Chiefs work? If you had to put it in a simple manner to somebody who's like, "Ay, but they're not saying so," and how would you summarize that?
Rob, I used to go ngehlathini ngeBozimbabwe kuphi ngena ngibheka ngamehlo. Akusabheka ngamehlo manje baba. Bakutshela ngezinto ezipoponwayo la ukuthi play igijime kangaki kwenza. So it's not normal like before ukuthi uyehlathini uyabheka uhlale lapha uthi lo player lenye yasana chairman or the coach, hey ngiboni left back ngiboni Nongomashe, hey ngiboni bani. It's deeper. So we knuckle down deeper with a consensus. It's not like before. There's a consensus. Even the sporting director doesn't make decisions alone. Even the coach doesn't make decisions alone. Even the coach asks analysts to recruit. So recruitment has changed. It's not Bobby now. It's not Eskusa no Bobby or Dr. Kumalo no Bobby Bahambe Latin or Ubra Screamer, the late May Soul rest in peace. We John Chabana and I suspend Ganjal. The game has changed drastically. I mean, even the buying power and buying and selling power is different. And if you want to go now, the stats, issues on technology, to go to Congo, to go to Zimbabwe, to go everywhere and buy, these things are there, the records are there. Even the media will tell you, Mutu won in 16 games, but when you saw something, like in the past, you saw some talent, at Chiefs, this guy could score 10 goals, but you got a one lay for six, but the Chiefs, you can see, now it's different. Now I coach it, Ukore 5 goals, 16 goals.
Yeah, so, I mean, he talked about Botsane, Mashiane, Ngobo, all of those
There
guys,
are those dynamics which will come when we ask the coach about. But I'm just saying, the game has changed to a point where we can't leave it to one man or to say it's a one-man show. It's a collective. Sometimes the coach wants this particular player, but there are dynamics. And the analyst will say, but this guy has got injuries from so long to so long. And the coach then, but it's a collective. So it's not that I've taken a back seat. I'm part of the process. I'm part of the team. Like I said to you, my gift is to serve. And
but you were visible though. So I think
but at the time,
that's what people.
I'm still visible. I don't see me on TV every day. Noma ngijaiva bayanshika bathe uyajaiva lo bathi ngisefonini ngikhuluma nabo referee bathi ngenzani. I'm there, but I'm just saying levels.
Mama Joy is also visible, but she doesn't play an active role. So what I'm saying is that
no, I am active. I'm full time.
So it is a strategic stepping back in respect of the structure that is there now.
Well, it's the roles and responsibilities also that determines in communication of how we want to communicate as an organization. It's a communication factor. It's not anything malice about me not. The time changed, Rob. I can't do what I was doing. I'm 55 now. I started the foundation when I was 50, focusing on giving back to community, focusing back on giving back. During COVID, I did thousands and thousands of families, giving them food parcels. But that was not exposed compared to when I was dancing at one night and I was on social media and I was banished for that. But we're giving back with the foundation. My task is to share the load now and give expertise. The game has changed, Robert. The game, my technical staff now I've got more than 40 people working under me. It has never happened. They make decisions. I just give input based on experience and listening as well. Listening to the technologies. It's not like before. Teams that, if you look at all the international teams, even local, look at the technical staff, look at the support staff and everything. And that's where it starts.
When you watch, like you're going to be watching tonight at 9 o'clock, you watch Sundowns are going to be playing against Fluminense. They win, a different world opens up for Sundowns.
Yes.
As Kaizer Chiefs, who've been in the forefront of victories and winning, you sit as Bobby and say, what goes through your mind when you watch those FIFA Club World Cup games and the success? Does that inspire you, number one? How do you feel as a human being and as just a fan of the club?
Robert, that's been the passion, that's been the fun, that's been the joy of being part of Kaizer Chiefs. That's been the vision. And that's why you saw what happened after winning the Nedbank Cup. that what can you do if I'm in that stage? If you're in that stage, that what can happen? But it's not a sprint. It takes time. It takes proper planning. It takes a journey, and it takes the structures as well. So that's why you need stability. You need to plan properly, and you need proper professional high-level standards. These things don't just happen overnight. Now, like I say, technology, a lot of things have changed the landscape. Fortunately for ambition of trying to be there on top.
You would love to be where they are.
That's why we're back in Africa now.
Yeah.
We're back in Africa again after so many years. I mean, we lost the Champions League in the final during COVID. That thing was traumatic. And we lost the league in COVID last minute with a draw. That trauma you come from as a big club.
Yeah.
It's not an overnight switch where you come back and you to lose at that level with an ambition of trying to reach higher levels. So it took a lot of time for us to really get things back. We're not back yet even now. It's a building phase again. 55 years, another 55 years.
Let me quickly take Uskumbuzo.
So let's talk about my foundation.
No, don't worry. Don't worry about the foundation.
I'm worried. I want to give back.
Don't worry about
foundation.
Don't worry. Time management. Skumbuzo's in Boksburg. It's cool. Thank you so much for holding.
Thank you.
Bobby's on the line, man. Go ahead.
Thank you. Just a quick one. 2 questions. First question is to Bobby. As a football administrator, what has been his greatest achievement? And conversely, what has been his biggest regret as a football administrator? Thank you, Rob. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very straightforward. Appreciate that. 2 quick questions for you, Bobby. How do you answer?
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot of journeys. There's a lot of setbacks. Some are even off-field. Because football is a journey. Like I said, different coaches, different times, different generations. And that has an effect. But as an administrator, the growth is to sustain the brand and to make sure that we live up to the standards. I mean, if you look at what we've developed from Elka Stadium, from renting offices to the brand is now at the marketing level, it's huge. And my experience is the more challenges, the growth that is there now. I'm still learning new things. We're still building on new things because the game has changed. That's a highlight of going forward, not backwards. Backwards just gave us the base. Now this thing is changing. It's becoming a monster. So for me, it's more the growth part of it, and I've been part of the growth. The experience in the past is there to help us to, navigate certain things. But the success has always been to see people happy. The growth of players going overseas, players achieving, and winning the leagues, winning the leagues and going to Africa. We won the Super Cup with Machine.
Yeah.
We've the African experience, going to the Champions League again, losing during COVID. It was tough times, by the way, that time. But the saddest times for me was the disasters. Ellis Park disaster, the Ogni disaster, which is still a thorny thing for us to see people dying for this thing that they love. The success, like I said, the happiness, is the joy is to see people happy. People, like what happened after the Nedbank Cup, that theme must come back. That theme must come back of people rejoicing and everything, because even the chairman, when he speaks to us, all the speeches we've been having in functions that we've been having, it's about those people.
And they've been very disappointed. So
yeah,
we'll continue the conversation. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, please stick around with us. We will read the comments and the questions. We'll take the voice notes. The foundation is there. The foundation is there.
I want to talk about the nice, the goodies, the good life,
goodies.
The inspiration for the future.
The future is what you make of it today. That is why I'm saying that don't go anywhere. We head into extra time now. Bobby Motaung, the foundation chair. And otherwise, being a Wednesday, we catch you again tomorrow. We'll know if Sundowns are through or not. But as I said, Cape Town City relegated.
Let's pray.
You want to pray for Sundowns?
I want to pray for Sundowns.
Should we start with the prayer after
They have to win this one to get to the next level.
Okay. We'll start with the prayer after a quick break and a quick turnover. Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Let the game begin. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW. Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Vuma very quickly onto the pool. Oh, a wonderful shot.
Welcome the pride of the Proteas, the captain, the warrior, the history maker. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is...
Maybe shy there with the entry.
How does that make you feel as a human being when you feel this level of love?
I mean, even just the last couple of days, it's been quite overwhelming. You know, South Africans, we are sports loving nation. We operate on extremes. When you do well, people give you love. When you don't do well, people also let you know. So I think it's a reminder of that.
#MSW. #MSW.
Good evening, Tarop, and the one and only Bobby Motaung. Tarop, first and foremost, I'd like to award you with your flowers while you can still smell them. We interviewed the then Maruma Galant's coach. He's now Orlando Pirates coach. Last season, I've been preaching that everyone that comes to studio who's unemployed gets the job. I remember you had an interview with my friend at Honolos here, and then after the interview with you, you got a job back at Sekhukhune United. Continue being the good luck charm to most people, and then I hope by bringing Bobby Muda into studios, maybe and just maybe Kaizer Chiefs will go back to the top. We just want the league, man. We want the league. I see they are linked to several good players, and then I know they're not going to say anything for now, but the players that you've been linked with are great players. I hope they go all out and get us great players. But today is not about, or tonight is not about Kaizer Chiefs, but it's about the man. It's about the man in the studio. Bobby Mutauni, all the best, my brother. All the best, and we wish you many, many more years to come. Thank you so much, Magwajawas. You Amakosi for life.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to Bobby. Bob Steak, I need to find out what is the criteria used to promote youngsters to the first team, because I believe Kaizer Chiefs scouts the best youth talent in the country, but many of these youngsters are lost in the system before they transition into the first team. One example being our DDC captain for the season before last, Uhaukele Ramushu. We are going to face him playing for Polokwane City. Our DDC captain for the past season, Untando Nkosi, has also been released by the club. We also had Umthokozisi Ubalagaise, who is a similar profile to Unaledi Hlongwane, who's currently been promoted to the first team, but Umthokozisi is scoring goals in the ABC Motsepe League. We didn't retain him, and similar example to Undamase at TS Galaxy. So for me, there's something wrong with our player progression or youth progression strategy. I just need to get light on that, or from your perspective. Thank you so much, Tebogoye.
Hi Rob, this is Tusi Mayapa from Pretoria. Hi to Bobby Motaung. Just a quick one. I genuinely just want an honest opinion from Bobby Motaung. Looking at what Sundowns is doing right now in the Club World Cup, looking at what Pirates have just done now with the quality of players they've signed, does he genuinely think that we are going to compete for the league? And I don't really care about cups. I just want the league. Does he genuinely think that we've got the quality to actually compete against Sundowns and Pirates? Let's just an honest answer from Bobby, please. Looking at the quality that we have right now compared to what Pirates and Sundowns have, and what Pirates and Sundowns, or what actually Sundowns is doing right now in the Club World Cup, looking at what we have signed already and what we have done, giving new players, people that haven't really contributed to the club maybe for the past 2 years, whatever. Does he genuinely think that we have the quality to actually compete next season? I just need an honest opinion. Thank you.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to the listeners. My question to Bobby Motaung is simple. I would like to ask him what happened to our scouts, because when I was growing up, Chiefs used to have the best scouts. We used to find the best players in the world to come, unknown players like Abombe Suma, Abo Kenini Mark. We did not even know where they came from, but they came to Chiefs. These days, we see every unknown player going to Sundowns. What happened to our scouts? Do we still have good scouts to go and scout instead of waiting for Sundowns to release players who we see that are finished and then baphelela kithi?
Shono wethu iyahle impofu idlukudla kwayo. Shono iyahle impofu idlukudla kwayo. Rob mfethu. Awu Mr. Motaung. Bobby, wena ungakanani? Ngithi mina why bevale league singama-champion futhi sisashaya abantu kamnandi kanje? Ayivele ivulwe kusasa le league, kusasa lokho kusayo ikhosi liqhubeka kugcine khona. Hell, bafuna usiphuca i-momentum yethu sibakubhaxa kubuka kabuhlungu kanjena. Ikhosi alipheli umoya, ayivule league sihlale ku-number 1 ngabunungu. Konza lishando lo Steng.
Hey, Bob Charlton, Steng, and thank you so much indeed. Also, just welcome if you're just tuning in on the YouTube channel. We are live with Bobby Motaung Foundation, chair of the Bobby Motaung Foundation. That's the capacity that he arrives in the studio with. As I said, whichever way the questions come, they land, they get answered. Hey, guys, it's a one-on-one, it's an open-ended chat. And he has promised, and that's the one thing that I'll reiterate, is that he has promised that he'll be back with the coach, he'll be back with the technical team when the time is right, before the start of the season, and we'll hold him to that, because at the end of the day, regardless of who or what Bobby Motaung is about, if there is no main driver of what he's been driving as Kaizer Chiefs, then it becomes a pointless exercise, a pointless conversation, and we don't want any of those to be pointless anything. So you've given us your word. When the time is right, you'll be back with the technical team, talk about the new signings, talk about the transfers, talk about everything else.
Yeah, definitely.
Bathi amakhosi aphela amandla.
Aphela umoya baba.
Amandla wekho, umoya ukhona, whichever way you look at it. I think the last voice note was talking about what you spoke about before the little break of how the scouting was done. And that's why you were called, buy one, get one for free and so on.
Yeah.
Because you were going across the border to go and purchase. So that doesn't happen anymore.
No, it does, but the difference is obviously the way the scouting network happens and the technology and how coaches believe in certain aspects. And also, like I said, the game has changed. And the quality then and now, and obviously how technology works in scouting. You know, there's a scouting systems that they use.
Yeah.
But like I say, in those years, we can't go. Generations have changed. Times have changed. Even the quality of players have changed in some areas. But definitely the club is hands-on in terms of dealing with the scouting and getting players and everything. In the past, yes, might have been the face, might have been, but it was a collective. Even then, it was a collective. Because you can't bring a player and give him to the coach and the coach doesn't want him or doesn't suit the style. And so that culture is still there in terms of how we scout and how we still give input. But like I say, modern times, modern changes, modern coaches, they differ.
Who for you has been the most successful Chiefs coach?
Hey, there's a lot.
Just give me one.
There's a lot. Kaizer Motaung has been the most successful coach. He's led the biggest organization for 55 years. And he's being the best coach, because even now you look at the generations that are in the club, from youth development and everywhere, the structures, the infrastructure. I think he's been the best coach for 55 years, my age. Let's talk about my foundation.
Then you would be doing the interview, so I'm still doing the interview.
I want to inspire. I'm in the spiritual journey now. But the chairman has been, I must say to you, Robert, on a serious note.
Yeah.
I had a discussion, fortunately, when I had this vision of this foundation, now this path, to sit with Dr. Koza, to sit with Dr. Motaung, my father, Dr. Mutsepe, to discuss the foundation journey. And obviously we'll have these discussions of players, coaches and stuff. And one of the things we realize that as clubs, we create a platform, we recruit coaches, we create, the chairmen make a decision on how we recruit coaches and how we bring. But at the end of the day, it's the personality that becomes the best when he takes over the job. how he leads, how he manages the team, and also there's issues of timelines, how successful he becomes in the team, how stressful, how he manages. You can interview the best coach with high CVs, but when he comes and lands in an environment, it depends how he adapts and how he does everything. For me, I think the best coach I've ever had was the chairman to allow coaches a chance, patience, and the board, understanding, and the input that we give from our administrative point of view to say, Chairman, why are we keeping this? But the listening of the chairman, the experience and the quality of giving people an opportunity, it depends on individuals. I can't say this was the best coach because some of them become the best, and when they see that they're becoming the best, they leave. And then you end up restarting again as a club. So for the organization, for the brand to be where it is today, it's that coach up there who has sustained it all. So I think we found coaches who were criticized in the past, but they became successful coming to Chiefs because of the environment and the infrastructure and the support they get. So it's difficult to say. They've had successes based on what was provided for them, but some could not even deliver because of the magnitude of the organization and the challenges, the shock of the environment that they find there.
But who would you say is then, because I know it's difficult. So when I said success, I almost liken it to when you talk about Man United, are also equally going through a difficult time. But the one figure who stands out, everybody will talk about Sir Alex Ferguson as being the epitome of success within the team. So if you look at Chiefs, if there is no one that you say
has stayed 10 years, 11 years,
what a Fergie has, then who has been the most disappointing for you that you had very high expectations about?
I don't like mentioning people's names. I know they like talking about us when they leave, whether it's successfully when they leave or when they leave without. But I'm not that type of a leader who, when things are bad, I point fingers, or when things are good. I love giving praise to everybody has contributed to this journey for 55 years. And I think starting from the Eddie Lewis, Joe Fergeltons, Ted Dimitris, the late, we've had the best coaches. It has a contribution of many factors. So they've all contributed. They've all left. I don't want to single out either one.
Yeah.
Because even those that didn't do well, they've taught us a lesson. They've given challenges to the brand. That's why I say my best coach is the chairman, because we had to sustain all these pressures. But I think it's about the style of play, the management of players, being a father figure as a coach, whatever. But they all have, you don't know what we deal with, Rob, behind the scenes. We don't know what we deal with, but when they succeed, they're the best. For me, it's about them being successful when they leave or their contribution. That's my measurement on coaches.
When you walked in, I said, welcome to the studio, Mr. Chairman. So you get a chance now finally to be a chairman of your foundation. Many people might see foundation as, okay, what is it? But you have told us that it's been about 5 years now. But you haven't maybe actively, like you do now, come forward and talk about it and talk about some of the successes, talk about some of your dreams, your ambitions. What lies next? What is within the horizon of what we can expect the Bobby Motaung Foundation to make a difference in terms of the world?
I think when we started the foundation, Rob, it came from a background of, especially when I was turning 50, I needed to celebrate the journey. At 40, I celebrated a journey at the time. At 50, I had done so much to go and party and celebrate and, thank God and thank friends and everybody. COVID hit, and I had to rethink, but it was God's time, like I say, where I needed to use the resources to share and give, because there was a need for community support, for community needs. I mean, I dealt with my churches, I dealt with community in Khabalazani, I dealt with Meadowlands. My church, about 1,000 people there to give food parcels. We collaborated with my friends instead of, doing certain things. There was a need because COVID was challenging. So I started the foundation then. My mother's birthday, when she was turning 70, because she's 79 now, 75, I had to do something. We did a church with the foundation, giving back. But this was from our own resources, without sponsorships of, but then, fast forward, I'm turning 55. What do? I went to church this year. I went to church with my mother something touched me very much, where I was baptized and everything. Looking at also not only the church, the area where I was born, Middlelands, it's getting dilapidated, community inspiration. When you go to church and you don't find youth, you don't find a church that inspiring, that is leaking, and looking at the challenges that we are faced with in society, it rang a bell to me again. This is 4 months back when I went to church. It rang a bell again to, are you turning 55? What are you going to do? What are you giving back again? Because my spiritual journey is to give back, is to thank God, to thank my parents for the opportunity, mentors that are around me. That's why I even had to go and sit with my parents. I've got lots of parents. I said I don't want to sound like somebody in politics who's consulting. I just share wisdom. These are people who brought me up. And knowing my wisdom and my spirit too of giving and loving, even my friends that I spend time with, we shared a goal to say, guys, we must do something to help community and inspire community. I mean, I come from an athletic sport, happy musicians, artists, everything comes from the area where I grew up. But we all moved out when we were growing up, and we moved to the suburbs. I go every week to Soweto. I mean, even during the week, I go. My mother lives in Soweto. My family lives in Soweto. And when you go and you touch and you are with the community and you feel the challenges that they have, you can't leave it to government and say government must deal with these challenges. And I think spiritually, I thought, let me do something for my birthday with this foundation. Because the foundation was formed merely to support sports in the rural areas, disadvantaged areas, community, where schools, whether it's junior schools, whatever, but in disadvantaged areas, to spirituality, churches. I'm not going to be particular to say I'm a Methodist only, or I'm this particular person at ZCC, whatever. Where there's a need to give a hand and bring in the influence of partners to come in and support communities. I think that's the purpose of the foundation. And that's why I'm emphasizing on it now to say, let me give back. Fortunately, I've got partners who supported the project. Starting from Kaizer Chiefs, my family, obviously, the chairman, the Blessings, Orlando Pirates, the chairman, Blessings, Supersport, Blessings to come and give coverage to the event. Your show coming on board to expose the other life that we can live and distress and give hope. But the foundation is there when you raise funds, is to go back again to give back to communities. We've got some other sponsors who are coming up, but I've got people who have bought platinum sponsors. I don't know if they want me to be on air now to expose them. But we've got other groups, companies who have pledged, who have come on board. I think the 4-ball for guys, I've advertised for 4 balls. Golfers, I've got 140. 4 balls gone, sold out, done already now. So the event is happening and it's for a good cause. Yeah. And including my birthday anyway, that night. You know what I love doing, Robs? Dancing, enjoying myself, celebrating, loving, giving love. But most of all, this golf day is to give back. And the foundation is to give back, to give love, to give support. I'm not going to be discriminating and say I'm focusing on this particular. I get so many requirements from people when I go to home. Last week I was in Soweto. During the week, last week, Thursday, the guys from the community, because of the safety, security, they want assistance in terms of cameras. The community itself volunteers to do things, but they don't have support. They don't have the influence to get sponsors, to get issues of cameras, lights, just, solar lights, because the electricity is a problem. We deal in business. I'm a businessman. I deal with people. We deal with a lot of construction deals and everything. Why can't we contribute back to those communities and say, let's support these initiatives that people are volunteering to do work. Instead of doing wrong things, they want us to. So they want support. So these things have been inspiring because people come to you for assistance. And you're in the space where you can say, Robert, with your show, can we spend time to talk about this cause?
Yeah.
And get support. Let's do that. We can only make this country better if we go back and we look back.
I sense, and that's why I've given you all the time to explain it, because it's important to dig deeper into your soul. And as you hit 55 now, I'm sensing from a personal perspective a deep growth and maturity within you. I sense a reflection within you in terms of your journey but maybe missed opportunities that you would like now, with the help of the foundation, to fix.
Of course. Of
Am
course.
am I correct?
No,
in
you're
that
correct.
observation?
I've been through a lot in business, Robs. I've been challenged by a lot of things. I've done things. I've achieved a lot in business. We've listed companies. We've done things. But looking back, even then, I was still doing well for community. I was still giving back. But now, at my age, what do I celebrate? The chairman has taught me a legacy which we are serving at Kaizer Chiefs. We're serving football. It's a serving business. But what do we do in our communities when you go back home? Because remember, we still live in Soweto. I go to Soweto every week. My family is there. And you see the challenges that are practical, that are there. And you can influence something that can fix this thing. Why can't you raise your voice? Why can't you rise up and raise a hand and say, can I help here? It's not about money. It's about just that voice and sharing with people and saying, let's try and do this to find a solution. It takes one house, one family to switch on a light. The rest will light.
Sure. As I said, the Bobby Motaung Foundation is what we are spearheading, and we'll give you all the further details as well. I see on social media already people asking about some of the details. So it means as we take time off from a season, as we take time off from the rigors of day-to-day league and cup football, to again reflect. And you won't be the first one, Bobby. We're going to bring other individuals that at times all they faced is abuse, and which is great. He knows. He put himself out there. I know. We put ourselves out there because not for abuse, but for the potential of anybody not to like what you do. And that is the bottom line. So it's a different twist. Yes, you might be frustrated with, I didn't come and answer about Sipombule, or I didn't sign and so on. I understand that. And that is why I'm saying that trust us. In terms of making sure that he and his technical team are held accountable enough to come back. And we've done that with Kaizer Jr., Jessica Motaung, to come onto the show. So that is not an issue. So in taking advantage of this right now, Bobby, and I know that you'll have a couple of influential people coming through to support and so on, they'll be the main drivers of your bigger ambition. And for them to open up their hearts and their time and so on, how important has that been for you? I mean, I don't want to mention names of people that are going to be at the golf day, but just given that significance, to know that X, Y, whether it's a politician or a businessman or a sports person, is there to support. What is that a reflection of you?
That's the influence that we want to bring back to the townships, to the rural areas, to where we come from, our backgrounds, to bring in our influential brothers who are responsible for certain aspects as well, to understand why the mission of supporting this cause. But you must remember also they're bombarded in their work, or politicians, whatever, in committees and meetings, but on a relaxed mode, sharing the struggles, sharing the background where we come from. They contribute. They're human beings as well. They're leaders, but they're human beings. So on a relaxed mode at the derby, when the people come to the derby, we talk. We talk nicely in the suites there. But this one is for a purpose of giving to those. But it's touching the souls. It's a connection. That's what makes it special. And their response, those leaders who are coming, has shown that they care about people. They care about society. They care about, we've got people who are responsible who are coming there of certain aspects of delivery. But through us, we can help them to deliver. Through business people, we can help them to deliver. It's not sometimes them delivering in the head offices, but it's what they feel. The purpose of this is to make them feel that this is the need in society. This is the need.
And I know you're not on social media, though, but how people work in that way? How do people reach out if they want more information as far as the foundation is concerned?
Yeah, I think we've got a website that we've established. We also have the email address, social media platforms. It's Bobby Motaung Foundation, Bobby Motaung at Bobby Motaung Foundation.co.za. And on social media, I'm not a social media person. I've got my marketing director here to come and just to say, give the address, Tato.
Yeah, you want to quickly just grab that mic. Otherwise, Bobby's going to send us to wrong websites.
Yeah, I'm used to the Kaizer Chiefs one, and that one is.
Rob, we've got social media platforms. It's Bobby Motaung Foundation, and we are on our website as well, BobbyMotaungFoundation.org. And so we've got different channels that we communicate with our people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just repeat that. I think we might have lost a little bit of that info. Yeah.
So on our social media platforms. So we are on X. I nearly said Twitter. We are on X and Instagram. Bobby Motaung Foundation, and then our website is bobbymotaungfoundation.org. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And anything else that maybe he might have missed in the heat of emotion that you want to add? Because I know, given your experience and how close you are to the chairman here, that you just want to share quickly with the viewers and listeners.
I think we're looking forward to a beautiful day on the 10th of July at Eye of Africa. And we really want to thank all our partners that have come on board. And there's still an opportunity for people that want to donate, for the donors. Like he said, it's for a good cause. I mean, the beneficiaries of this project will be your various churches. We're looking at education programs as well. And various sporting codes will benefit, So I'm encouraging those who can, friends of Bobby Motaung, friends of Bobby Motaung Foundation, to just support the cause and come and have fun.
Okay. That's the man. Thank you so much, Baba. Appreciate it. Appreciate your contribution. Before we go, Bobby, people gave me 10 questions just to answer, for you to quickly answer.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yes or no? No explanation.
No,
We only have 2
no.
minutes left. Your favorite football player of all time? Quick.
Besides Dr. Kumalo.
Quick.
Asin Solengwe.
Best player you've worked with at Kaizer Chiefs?
Quick. Jabubule.
Golf or football?
Sticker. Golf. Jabubule was soccer. You know why? He gave me the worst problems in my life ever.
You're explaining. I'm not interested in that. Your go-to song when you want to get pumped up?
I'm a piano, Baba.
Any Amapiano?
Any Amapiano. As long as it's got jazz in it.
One meal you can't live without?
Chicken salad, white meat, goat.
Those are meals now. Come.
Yeah, one.
Favorite stadium atmosphere, home or away?
Derby home.
If not football, what would Bobby Motaung be doing today?
Chilling, praying, spirituality connection.
Please choose one.
Spiritual connection.
One word your friends would use to describe you.
One word. I'm too much fun. Fun.
Those are 3 words. Please choose one.
Fun.
Favorite South African holiday destination?
South African. Sun City.
Bafana Bafana's chances for the next AFCON? Hopeful or not?
Positively hopeful.
Your next big signing?
Robert Marawa.
Footballer?
Robert Marawa.
Proper footballer?
Robert Marawa.
You see, you've been slipping over your tongue.
Robert Marawa.
Oh, guys, listen, thank you. Thank you so much. I do appreciate this. I do appreciate all your understanding. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for the company. And as I always say, that support those positive moves, guys. I know it's been frustrating, Amakosi. It's been a couple of seasons of frustration. We'll get to that. And there will be no fun jokes. There will be a straight shoot. There will be conversations that you would want to hear. But for today, Chairman of the Bobby Motaung Foundation, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. And
Thank you.
Good luck. And happy birthday in advance.
Thank you. Thank you, Rob. And love and peace. Let's live with love in the country and let's support one another. God bless.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's tune in again for Marawa Sports Worldwide. A big thanks to you on the social media platforms. Thanks to you on the YouTube channel. We see you, we salute, and we thank the team as well, again, for a little bit of extra time that they've contributed to make sure that the show continues to be the success it is. It's been a crazy week. I don't know what tomorrow holds.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.